The Reagan family moved into this home on December 6, 1920. Looks like he left his dog behind.
In 1920, this house had gas, electricity, and sneak along the wall. But I have a group up here on top, and then when I get done, I'm here on the wall. Here's a picture of Ron and Nancy.
This is the parlor, and this is a spot where Ronnie would hide money underneath a loose tile. And the living room.
Yes. His birthday is February 6th. That year it was bitter cold, like below.
And right next to the house, which is in the background, they erected a statue to him. Up the ramp, we'll see the brick home of Ulysses S. Grant, President of the United States, along with some other homes that have been maintained from the era. Just too hot for me to walk up there. Back in this industrial area of Dubuque, Iowa, we find an old shot tower. Very common back in its day. Tens of thousands were built. This is built for making lead shot. You would take molten lead, the top of the tower, pour it through a copper grate, which would then size the shot, and as it dribbled down into the tower, it would form a perfect ball, a sphere. It would then continue to fall down into water at the bottom, which would complete the cooling process. Prior to that, each ball had to be made by hand. We're in Winterset, Iowa, where we've come across the home birthplace of John Wayne. You remember that movie, The Bridges of Madison County? This is the bridge that was featured in that movie. It's near where John Wayne was born. We've only got about 10 miles on backcountry roads, gravel roads. Complete Rainbow, Topeka, Kansas. Also a second one off to the right there, if you can see it.
When it was 3 miles south of Greensburg, the electricity went off. The weatherman had just said, it's 3 miles south of Greensburg, take cover now, it's big. It's big, it's going to hit Greensburg.
But he had no idea it was that far.
And so the electricity went off, and I said to my son, we better go across the street where there's a basement. And I looked out the kitchen window, and there was big old gobs of hail coming down. I called it hand fist size. It was probably like baseball size or whatever. And I'd lost my husband before the tornado, 6 years before, and we bought a new fifth wheel back in the 90s. And it had a rubber roof, and I stood there looking at this hail, and I'm thinking, well, my fifth wheel, you know, because when we bought it, they said hail wouldn't hurt it, but this is pretty big stuff. Well, I didn't need to worry about it anyway. And so then my son says, Mom, it's here. Well, I said I wasn't going out for hay. It's here, across the hallway. And so we had the cat already in her carry cage. We just all went in there, and when it hit the house, I'm thinking, yeah, there it is. You just missed it. That was the tornado. It was an EF5 over 205-mile-an-hour wind, and when it hit the house, the first thing you heard was the noise, the roar. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's coming. And then the next thing you heard was the windows. And at that point, I'm thinking, what have we done? We stayed in here, we're probably going to die. And we just started praying. My son said, I was praying so hard to kind of shut everything out, you know. And my son said, Mom, the cat meowed the whole time. And I thought maybe she was praying too. But then, when it was, I guess, about half over with, we didn't know, we thought it was over. It just stopped. All of a sudden, quiet. Couldn't hear anything. My phone rang.
We need some cleanup.
Coffee shop.
My phone rang.
Hey, go get him so you can
And so we made our way to, it's dark, see, it's 9:45 at night. We made our way to the east wall and where the phone was, and it was a son of mine from Salina, Kansas. Mom, are you okay? And I said, we're okay, the house isn't, I hear it coming again. And I guess we were in the eye of the storm. And so we went back in there, and then the house shook and rattled, and I'm thinking it's gonna go, you know, but then it was over, and then the east wall was pushed out the top about this far, and it was leaning like this, and I think my roof went on down 2 or 3 times. And then I couldn't talk to my son. I could tell that the line might still be open, but he couldn't hear me and I couldn't hear him. But he told me later that he could hear the wind, he could hear things hitting the house. So then I'm thinking, now what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
But we've done. Thank you for stopping.
We were here once last year. It was before they had built the museum. It had a glass top over it. Hand dug by about 15 men in 1 year. Almost perfectly round. Did a good job of that.